Hello YouTube, this is the Creative Duelist here representing Team FTK, and I've been making decks creative since 2016. Welcome folks. Now before I start this video, I'd like to make a couple of announcements. Please check out the links in the description. We have a Patreon. If you folks would like to pledge to us, please feel free. Of course that helps us in the long run in terms of equipment and of course obtaining cards for our decks. Also, if you cannot do Patreon, we have PayPal. If you folks would like to tip us on PayPal, please check that out. Link shall be in the description. And also we are sponsored by Inked Gaming. Inked Gaming sells a wide variety of items such as mouses, keyboards and of course mats. So if you folks would purchase from them with the promo code TeamFTK10, it allows you to have a 10% discount on anything you purchase. Make sure you put that promo code in and put it to good use. But yes folks, gonna go ahead and start the deck profile. Of course I've got Batteryman to profile. I love Batteryman. Batteryman is just such a great deck. It's such an easy OTK deck. You can easily overwhelm your opponent if they don't stop you. But yes, I love Batteryman because they're just so explosive, and the amount of search and the consistency with the deck is pretty nice. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start the deck profile and show you my card choices and all that good stuff. So let's begin. So starting off with the monster lineup folks, I've got the triple Batteryman Solar. Solar's pretty cool. He's like a foolish barrel in the flesh. So basically when he's normal or special summoned, you can send one thunder type monster from your deck to your graveyard. Pretty cool. You can even send himself, which is pretty interesting. Usually you're going to want to send 9 volt because 9 volt works well with our recursion stuff. So we play stuff like Call the Haunted back to the front, bring back the 9 volt so we can get 9 volts effect to get more advantages and search for the pieces from our deck, which is pretty important. And Solar has another cool effect where if a thunder type monster is I think if it's normal or special summon on your field while you control a Batteryman Solar, you get to sprout out a thunder token. So if you folks would like to incorporate some links in your extra deck, you can go ahead and do that. So he's good in that aspect, which is why I play 3 copies of him. And of course triple Batteryman 9 volt, pretty cool, pretty standard. Works really well with the deck because when he's summoned by any means, which is such a good effect, you can add any Batteryman monster from your deck to your hand. Really good, sets you up for your OTK when you've got all the pieces you need. And of course when he's summoned, and when you do that, when you search, he doubles his attack and defense, so he becomes a fat beat stick. He becomes 2k, and during the end phase, during your end phase, 9 volt will blow himself up, which isn't a problem because it allows us to utilize our traps in order to summon him back and get more leverage from his effect. So 9 volt is really good in that aspect. Continuing on with the lineup, got the triple Batteryman Charger, pretty standard. Charger's pretty cool. When he's normal summoned, you get to special summon out any Batteryman monster from the deck, and he gains 300 attack and defense for each thunder type monster you control, which is pretty good, which is pretty cool. The 300 attack and defense to stack up over time depending on how many thunder type monsters you have, so you can become quite beefy and giant. Pretty cool. And of course my favorite Batteryman of the deck, the boss monster himself, kind of the boss monster I guess, well second boss monster. He's the Fuel Cell, Batteryman Fuel Cell. Pretty cool. He can summon himself from the hand if you control 2 or more Batterymen. Really good. He has a nice little compulse effect when you tribute a Batteryman monster. You can tribute a Batteryman monster with his effect to bounce back a card your opponent controls. Really good. Helps with the OTK and gets rid of any problematic cards. So it's pretty cool. And of course, continuing on, got the double Batteryman Microcell. He's a little slow. He's really good going first. If your opponent makes you go first, you never want to go first. You want to go second. But if your opponent makes you go first, if you lose the die roll, he's really good because you can just set your back row. When your opponent tries to attack the Microcell, when he's flipped up, you get special summon out of level 4 or lower Batteryman monster, so you typically going to bring out the 9-volt, and if he dies by battle, you get in extra little draw. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool in that aspect. And for the final Batteryman monster I do play is the one Batteryman Industrial Strength. Industrial Strength is amazing because you can summon him by just banishing 2 Batteryman from the graveyard. So he's kind of the boss monster. He's kind of a pseudo Blackluster soldier, which is pretty interesting. So when he's on the field, you can banish a Thunder type monster in your grave to pop a spell and trap, which is a unique effect. So he's good in that aspect. So I only play the 1 because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like 1 was kind of enough. I see people like just go balls deep and max the shit out of this card. I've seen people play 2. 2 is a sensible number 2, but it's up to you what you want to play. So that's going to round up the whole Batteryman lineup. I'm going to go ahead and continue with my other lineup, of course. I am trying out the Photon Thrashers in the deck. Photon Thrashers works really well. Sometimes we won't open up, the Stormforth. So this acts as tribute fodder for our charger, and of course we can use it for link material, which is pretty cool. And I've got the double Honest. Honest is so good. It always puts my opponent on their toes and helps with the OTK. And I just love Honest. Honest just takes your opponent off guard. And I've got the 2 Veilers. Don't have my Ash Blossoms yet. We'll be getting them soon. But of course, Veiler, it's just Veiler for now. And then I've got the one Levinia. Levinia is pretty cool. You banish 3 lights, summon him, and he can spawn back a monster from the grave in defense position. So he's like a monster reborn in the flesh. So he's pretty cool in that aspect. But yes, folks, that's going to round up the whole monster lineup. Onto the spells. I've got triple the Monarch Stormforth. Now that it's at 3, we can take full advantage of it, because when it was at 1, it kind of was a bummer for Batteryman, because you couldn't summon Charger consistently. You know, you had to deal with more stuff, and plus Stormforce, it's a good out against certain monsters, so you can distribute their shit and then summon your Charger. So it's pretty cool in that aspect. Got the double Desires. Desires is pretty cool. I felt as if Desires was important in this deck because, you know, once you've searched all your Batteryman stuff and you're ready to OTK, whatever's left in the deck isn't going to be too useful to you. So 2 Desires. And of course got the double Pot of Duality. You're probably thinking, why am I playing Pot of Duality in this build? Doesn't it conflict? It actually doesn't. Batterymen are a little bit slow, so if your opponent makes you go first, Duality is just there to get answers to your hand, and of course set you up for your OTK. And of course got the double Battery Charger. It's a monster reborn, but you pay 500 life points to bring back a Batteryman. Can't complain. And I got double summon. Really important. Sometimes it's just good to get that extra Batteryman monster on the field. Double summon does make the difference at times. And I've got the double Call by the Grave, pretty standard. You can max it at 3. I just play 2 just to stay on the safe side. And of course got the double Twin Twister on Rotor to search for the Thrasher. Foolish. Short Circuit. Basically, it nukes your opponent's field if you have 3 or more Batterymen on the field, which is so disgusting. And of course got the 1 Regeki to round up the spell lineup, folks. Okay, after the traps, got double Call of the Haunted and double Backs to Front. This is the ratio I play. It's working out quite well. I do like Call of the Haunted because it is a little bit more offensive. I might play a third one, but again, you don't want to play too much recursion, because if you play too much recursion and you don't see your Batterymen, the recursion, the whole aspect of, you know, using recursion cards kind of seems pointless. So you got to be careful with the ratios. So far 2 and 2 is working well. I might test out the third, Call the Haunted, but 2 is working perfectly fine. And to round up the main deck, of course, I've just got the Solemn Brigade. There's not really much to say here. Okay, on to the extra deck. Now, the extra deck is kind of all over the place here. It's kind of, there's a lot of options you can play in the extra deck. There's some link options. You've got Hippo Shinigami. You can also play the Thunder link monster. I have it somewhere. I just can't find it. You can also play stuff like this. Play some rank 5s. Pallades package, you can play Volcasaurus or Armageddon. Just a couple of ideas you folks can play. And of course, Exciton is just so good to play in this, just in case your whole FTK gets ruined. Or sorry, your OTK. You can FTK as well, which is rare. But you know, if your OTK gets ruined, Exciton comes in to save the day. These are just some options you can play. Personally, I have not touched my extra deck at all through testing because the Batterymen put in so much bloody work. They deal with the threats and I'm able to kill my opponent with the greatest of ease. But yes folks, thank you all for watching. If you folks enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like, comment down below. Feedback is always nice to hear. Tell me your thoughts down in the comment section. If you folks, any suggestions, please leave in down below in the comments. I'd love to read them. And of course, make sure you check out the links, support us, help out the team. But yes folks, this is the Creative Duelist representing Team FTK, signing out. Peace.